ちょっとここのベイエリアに関しては結構ね、空室率が高くなるかもしれないですと。空室率は過去最高レベルには達しているなというところですね。全体的にはね、ちょっとね、ポジティブな方向には向かっていくんじゃないかということですね。それではですね、今度は次にね、ジョイさんの方から、レジデンシャルの方のね、マーケット。こちらの方がね、多分個人のね、投資家の方はね、レジデンシャルの方がね、よりちょっと興味があると思いますけども、ちょっとこちらの方ね、ちょっと聞いていきたいと思います。じゃあ、please start your presentation.
So for the residential market, we've seen improvement in the secondary market, meaning more investors are buying, there are more renters of condominium units also. Now, the completion of condominium units will recover in 2024, so that's next year. Slower completion this year compared to 2022, but there will be a greater comeback next year. And there are more horizontal projects, house and lot, leisure-oriented house and lot only developments being undertaken by developers outside of Metro Manila.
全体的なこのレジデンシャル住宅地の方の傾向としてはですね、供給の方はですね、2020年、来年ですね、来年には完全に本格的に戻ってくるということで、2023年はちょっと過渡期ということでありまして、主にですね、もちろんいろんな物件があるんですけども、このホリゾンタルですね、いわゆる戸建てですね、そっちの方が回復が今まずはメジャーになっていると、こういうことになります。
And all over Metro Manila, we have 153,000 condominium units. But what's notable here is that 70% of the total supply is primarily coming from only 3 business districts. So these are Fort Bonifacio, Makati CBD, and of course, the Bay Area.
ベイエリア。なるほどね。はい。これは、あれね、ストックね。トータルエリア、スクエアメーター。
This is
パーセントとかユニットね。なるほどね。はい。これはマニラのですね、実際の今、2023年 Q2 のね、にどういうね、物件が今あるかということなんですけども、これ見ていただくと、もう多いのはね、ベイエリア 24%、それからボニファショ BGC でね、28%、それからマカティが 19%、それからこの3つがやっぱりね、この住宅のね、供給の、今、主体になっていると。こういうことになりました。
Again, completion will recover second half of this year. So we're projecting about 3,100 units that will be delivered for the remainder of 2023 or the last 6 months of 2023. But about 2/3 of that will be coming from the Bay Area. So that's still a significant part of the new supply.
なるほど。これはね、全部で3100ユニットですね、部屋の供給がこれからね、今年の後半あるわけなんですけども、その中でね、多いのはこれはベイエリアが多いですね、非常にね、65%。それから、あとオルティガスとかね、BGC とかあるんですけども。Is there any reason why Bay Area supply is really big?
Well, at the height of the full go demand, so 2017 to 2019, the developers really tried to capture demand from the offshore gaming companies from China. So to be able to do that, they launched a lot of projects. So these projects that they launched about 3, 4, 5 years ago are now being completed. So you're now seeing substantial new supply in the Bay Area.
ですからこれは当然この今ねこのね下半期に完成するわけなので、その実際建築がスタートしてるのは 3,4 年前、ものによっては5年ぐらい前、結構やっぱりそのオフショアゲーミングなね従業員の人たちがねたくさんいたんで、そこを見込んで結構できているということなんですけども、 So if so many offshore gaming employees went back to the country, So what do you think this many unit is released in the Bay Area?
Yes.
So what do you think about sales?
Well, right now, because we're no longer seeing the demand from POGOs, we're seeing higher vacancies also in the Bay Area. In fact, the vacancy in the Bay Area is the highest across Metro Manila.
ね、ということなんで、ちょっと供給がねこんだけ多いんでね、で実際ちょっとね先ほどオフィスのところでもねお話ししましたけども、中国のねオンラインカジノの人たちっていうのはコロナ前の数字には全然戻ってないので、ちょっとここのベイエリアに関しては結構ね空室率が高くなるかもしれないねという話ですね。OK。
And again, we will see substantial new supply for next year, 2024. So we will be seeing about 9,620 new units that will be completed in the Bay Area. And again, a big chunk of that coming from the Bay Area, that's about 61%. So overall, Metro Manila, 9,600, 61% of that coming from one business district alone, the Bay Area.
なるほどですね。これはあれですね。来年はまた非常にね、新しいね、供給が増えるんですけども、9620件ですね。で、そのうちの 61% がベイエリアで、やっぱり一番圧倒的に多いですね、これ見るとね。Okay.
Again, if you look at this supply pipeline, so there will be about 7,000 new units that will be completed every year from 2023 to 2025, and that is less than the 13,000 units delivered or completed every year pre-pandemic or from 2017 to 2019. Again, the Bay Area will dominate next year. It will have the largest condominium supply across the capital region.
これがこのちょっと傾向ですね。2025年までの傾向ですけども、2024年がピークですね。供給のピークになって、その後少しずつ下がっていくんですが、エリア的に見るとやっぱり圧倒的にベイエリアが多いなというところですかね。
Okay, and again, vacancy has been improving, but that is still elevated, 17.2% as of second quarter this year. We're forecasting to end the year at 17% vacancy. But notable here is that the vacancy in the Bay Area remains elevated at about 26%. So 1 out of 4 units is still vacant. But across other business districts, you have Rockwall at about 11%, Eastwood at about 6%, Makati CBD at about 13-14%. So still manageable vacancies across Metro Manila. Again, we're forecasting to end the year at 17% vacancy.
これ空室率なんでね、ですけども、全体で 17.2% で、今年の、これセカンドクォーターですね。で、一応今年の末で、の予想で 17%、ほぼ一緒なんですが、ここで、結構高いんですけど、これ見ていただくと、もう明らかにベイエリアのね、空室率がね、4部屋のうち1部屋空いてると、こういう状況なんで、ここが押し上げてますねっていうところで、他のところはじゃあどうかっていうと、マカティがちょっとやっぱ2桁なってますけども、オルティガスとかイーストウッドとかはね、非常に1桁台ということで、その空室率的には非常にマネージャブルな数字になっているということですね。
Okay, and overall, we have been seeing an improvement in terms of vacancy, as I mentioned, but we need to look at 2024 because of 9,600 that will be delivered, completed in Metro Manila. We might see this again rising to 17.7%. So we're now nearing the 17.9% record high vacancy that we recorded in Metro Manila in 2021.
これね、過去の推移をちょっと見てもらってますが、やっぱりあれですね、空室率は過去最高レベルには達しているなというところですね。Okay. So what do you think the current situation is? The vacancy rate is kind of a record high level. So what do you think in the future? How do this number?
We're projecting it to still be at about 17%. We do not see it declining substantially in the near term. Again, because you see a lot of new units in the market. The 9,600, that is still a lot. And that will really take time before being absorbed by renters and the buyers.
So in your forecast, around 15-17% vacancy rate will continue next
17%, yes, but definitely not 15%.
70%. Continue couple of years.
I would say at least up to 2024, 2025. let's see if 2026 there will be an improvement, because that will also result in the number of new launches or completion in the market.
まあこの今ね結構この高い空室率ですけども、供給もこの後も結構ありますんで、これがですね多分まあ今ジョイさんの予想だとこの 17% ぐらいがあと2年ぐらい24、25ぐらいは続くのかなと。で、26ぐらいからね空室率が良くなってくるんじゃないかと。まあこういう予想になりますね。Thank you.
I'll summarize these two slides here, but overall what we have been seeing is that rents and prices have been growing by about 2 to 3% every year, and this is an improvement compared to combined correction in rents and prices of about 12 to 19% in 2020 and 2021. So yes, it's a marginal improvement, but I would say that it's an improvement nevertheless compared to what we saw at the height of the pandemic during that disruptive period of 2020 and 2021.
2020-21 は何 9 to 10% increase?
12 to 19% decline in terms of rents and prices. And then we're only now seeing an marginal increase of about 2 to 3% every year. That's our forecast from 2023 up to 2025.
ここはいわゆる賃料ですね。賃料がどういうふうにまあね改善してくるかっていうところなんですが、数字としてはですね、今現状が 1% で、この後2023から25あたりがですね、2.1% ぐらいっていうことなので、そうだな、回復はしてくるけど、まあね、やっぱり需給の関係があるんで少ないということですね。So from the macroeconomic point of view, the Philippine GDP growth is this year maybe 5.5 or something like that. Next year maybe 6.5 or something.
Yeah, although I think 6.5 will be a little difficult because of the 4.3% growth in the second quarter. And then the forecast that we will only grow by about 5.2%. So first half will probably be about 4.5. So reaching that at least 5.6% or 6% growth will be a challenge.
Okay. So comparing with the GDP growth, still rent
definitely much slower. And then you also have inflation, which remains elevated at about 5.3% in August. So I think these are the economic factors that are not looking so good at this point. But again, if you look at the growth in rents and prices, that may seem marginal, but again, that is an improvement compared to what we saw in 2020 and 2021.
ちょっとね、この数字自体はフィリピンのインフレ率とかいわゆる GDP のね、成長率と比べると低いんですけど、それは先ほどのやっぱりその供給もね、結構あるんでね、なかなか数字的には低いんですけど、少しずつこのコロナの時のマイナスからプラスには転じてきてるっていう、そんな状況ですかね。
And in the pre-selling market, we are seeing an improvement. So launches increased by 70% year on year. So 14,000 units. So that's higher 70% compared to the year prior, first half 2022. And then first half 2023, 15,000 units taken up in the pre-selling market. So that is an increase of 52% compared to the year prior. So overall, these are very good figures for the pre-selling market. But note that we are still far from the pre-COVID take-up and launches of about 50,000, 58,000 units taken up in the pre-selling market.
これが実際のその需要と供給ですけども、これを見ると2023年で上がってはいますけど、コロナの前の2017とか18とかね、19も結構高いんですけど、この辺に比べるとまだ非常に低いレベルにはなっているということですね。
And if you look at the launches and take-up, so much of units being launched in the market coming from the lower mid-income, priced from 3.2 to 7 million pesos per unit. And then the take-up, if we break this down, much of the demand also coming from the lower mid-income. So priced from 3.2 to 7 million pesos. First 6 months of the year, that price segment accounted for 52% of total take-up in the market.
これはあれですね、いわゆるそのグレードですね、家のグレード、これ価格でね、してるわけですが、これを見ると、2023年のこの上半期について言うと、やっぱりこのローアーミッドインカムですね、ここの320万ペソから699万ペソ、ここがやっぱり一番重要のボリュームゾーンで半分以上ということになってきてまして、ここが増えてると。で、逆に高い方は、ラグジュアリーはちょっと増えてますけど、それ以外ちょっと減ってるということで、圧倒的にやっぱりローミッドインカム、ここの需要が増えてますね。Can I ask you one question about the home mortgage loan? Home mortgage loan rate is getting higher and higher, right? Linked with BSP interest rate hike.
Yes.
So now home loan rate is 7% or 7% or something.
Yeah, about 7 to 8%. Yes.
I think most of the low mid income demand they use house loan.
That's correct. So much of the low mid income affordable using bank loans. Like the more affluent ones, if you talk about upscale luxury, well, they're awash with cash. Some of them even pay in cash. So it's really the mid income, so lower mid income, and even affordable segments, dependent on bank loans, mortgage loans.
So, but this kind of a high interest rate situation, still demand is really big.
That's correct. Still coming from the lower mid income. So I would say that this is the sweet spot. If you talk to developers, they would tell you that much of the demand coming from the 3 to 7 million pesos a unit.
それもね、そういった、住宅ローン金利がめちゃめちゃ今、フィリピンは高いわけですが、それにもかかわらず、この需要はね、大きいと、ローアーミッドインカムですね。でも逆にそのラグジュアリーとか高い方に来ると、基本的にその住宅ローン使う人もいますけど、キャッシュでね、買っちゃうような人も多いんで、あまり影響ないと思うんですけども、ローアーミッドインカムあたりの人は、ほとんど住宅ローンを使っていくんで、そうですね。Okay.
And again, if you look at developers, so I'll summarize this 2 slides. What we have been seeing is that developers have been expanding outside of Metro Manila and our land banking, developing horizontal projects within master plan communities, and taking advantage of improving infrastructure and connectivity outside of the capital region.
今映していただいたのはそのメジャーなねデベロッパーですけど、こちらマニラ以外のねところでありまして、こういったね会社がこうやってますよっていうことで、FIMA Property is the same company of the FIMA schools. FIMA is running the same company. Oh, same company's real estate unit. なるほど。FIMA とかね、学校で有名なんですけど、こういったところもあるということですね。Those Santa Lucia and Pueblo de
Oro.
They are also listed company.
Listed?
Listed.
I think Santa Lucia is. I need to check that.
Oh yeah.
Well, Rockwell is definitely.
Yeah, Rockwell is.
Yeah. Pueblo de Oro is not listed.
Okay. はい。このあまりスタイルシアとかね、プエブロってのは皆さんあんまり馴染みがないかもしれませんけども、こういったところ、マニラの外ではね、こういったデベロッパーがいます。
And these are the trends and highlights. Again, interest rates have been stabilizing. There will be substantial new supply of condominium units in 2024. So there will be a recovery. A Bay Area will dominate supply next year across Metro Manila. But what we have also been seeing is that there has been slower launches of new projects. Again, because developers remain cautiously optimistic and are taking advantage of still high interest rates, mortgage rates, and prices of construction materials, which reached a record high last year. So overall, they are still testing the waters and see if consumer sentiment and investor appetite is still there or has even bounced back for residential units.
これ全体的なトレンドの、ね、まとめになりますけども、金利についてはですね、スタビライズって書いてあります。基本的にちょっとね、しばらく高止まりかなというところで、それは当然需要とは関係していると思いますけど、一方で2024年は についてはね、非常に大きなね、サプライがありますと。それからサプライの中心はベイエリアが中心になりますということですね。で、コンドミニアムの供給については、2024年ピークで少しずつね、スローダウンしていくと。
And some positives that we just want to highlight for the residential sector: more joint ventures between foreign players and Philippine developers, or even amongst the Philippine developers, homegrown developers here. More horizontal projects outside of Metro Manila, so developers are taking advantage of this stable demand, especially from the end user OFW market. Interest rates stabilizing. Of course, a reduction in mortgage rates will also further stoke the residential market. Remittances from Filipinos pretty stable. So 3% growth this year forecasted by the central bank. So that's still a very strong indicator and will help fuel the residential requirements of Filipinos. As you know, a fraction of money sent in by Filipinos continues to be used or allotted for their housing requirements. And then economic growth of between 5 to 6%. Hopefully, we achieve the midpoint, 5.5 or even higher. Let's see. Towards the end of the year, if there's greater pump priming from the government, that will likely stoke a Philippine economy in general. And according to the central bank, there's an improved confidence amongst businesses, so they're expanding, hiring more, and as a result, more consumers are also more optimistic, are buying, revenge spending, revenge dining, revenge traveling, even revenge investing. For a lot of Filipinos, they were not allowed to go out, they did not spend on big ticket luxury items, so now they're taking advantage of this opportunity to now invest and acquire a property. So hopefully that benefits the property market in general, and you know that developers sees this rising demand for properties.
最後ね、ここ今後の見通しも含めてまとめていただいたんです。ここに書いてある内容なんですけども、一つはこのいわゆるディベロッパーですね。海外からもそのジョイントベンチャーを通してのそういった投資なんかがちょっと入り始めてるっていうことですね。それからやっぱり需要はね、結構やっぱり特にその戸建て住宅とか郊外のね、こういったところの需要ってかなりやっぱ堅調。これは続いていくでしょうというところですね。で、金利についてはね、高止まりするもののもうそれほどね、上がっていく傾向ではないんで、そこはプラス材料かなと。で、あとやっぱりこの需要の大きなところがですね、この OFW からの需要ということで、この OFW の人たちの実はね、いわゆる総金額というのは増えてますと。今年も 3% ぐらい増えてるということで、ここは結構、下支えになるかなと。で、あともちろんその経済全体の成長もね、5.5 から 7% ぐらいって書いてありますけど、この辺もあるということで、全体的にこれからコンシューマーとビジネスセンティメントは上がっていくんじゃないかなということですね。
Okay.
Thank you very much. And I have one question about the OFW remittances.
Yes.
I haven't checked the statistics data, but I just heard from someone the total amount of OFW is around
36 billion. 36 That's in 2022.
36 billion
yes.
peso. So I heard just rumor, around 50% of 36 billion go to real estate.
The 50% is a little high on the upper side. I think about 20-25% based on previous studies that I have seen. 20-25% of remittances, especially cash remittances. So that's $33 billion. About 20-25% of that injected, allotted for real estate requirements.
Okay. This is kind of
I think 50% is a bit high.
20 to 25%.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the standard of what we've been seeing in the market.
I see. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So overall, it's still positive.
Positive.
You have some headwinds, but you also have tailwinds in the positives that continue to lead the growth of the residential market, whether within or outside of Metro Manila.
全体的にはね、ちょっとね、ポジティブな方向には向かっていくんじゃないかということですね。I want to ask you about the capital appreciation.
Okay.
Yeah, what's happening now?
Overall, what we have been seeing is, for example, in Metro Manila, prices, as I mentioned, will likely grow by about 2 to 3% every year. That's our forecast. from 2023 to 2025, there was a stable increase in prices pre-pandemic, especially for condominiums in Metro Manila. But overall, there's a sustained increase, especially prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, prior to the exodus of POGOs. I think for properties in the Philippines, there is a more stable price increase. It's less volatile compared to PSE index. And I think it's a very viable investment vehicle still. In the Philippines, we don't have a lot of options, investment options. That's why Filipinos continue to gravitate towards property as an investment vehicle.
値上がりについてはね、多分ここ数年ぐらいは 2% から 3% ぐらいね、値上がりになるんじゃないかということですね。物件によってもちろんね、違うわけですけどね。
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
ということでね、今日はね、不動産マーケットについてですね、最新の、ね、不動産マーケットについて、
Thank you.
お話を、プロのね、専門家の方からお話を伺いました。ということで、皆さんの参考になればなと思いますので、またよろしくお願いいたします。Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.